Let me begin by saying it is an honor and a privilege to introduce this year's Salutatorian. I have known this young man for about 6 years. As a student, I found him to be excellent, always willing to do extra to make a better grade. I've also had the luxury of being his number sense coach. I found him to be easily coachable and a very intense competitor. This last attribute resulting in him being a 4-year individual competitor at the state meet in Austin and placing all 4 years, with the last year culminating with the state championship. But that's not all this young man has accomplished. He is also a member of the National Honor Society, a member of the Student Council, and also the class president. He was also a member of the district champion football team this past season. Among his other impressive attributes is his being a quality person. Despite being very intelligent and making high grades, he is also very humble. He is also very likable and fun to be around, not just for the teachers, but also for the other students, always making them feel welcome and not talking down to them. This young man has also been very active outside of school. He has earned the rank of Eagle with Boy Scouts of America. He is active in church, serving as a lector and a Eucharistic minister. Finally, he runs his own business, a business in which he teaches kids to swim. Among his clients was my son. This young man was very patient with a 10-year-old who had never had a swimming lesson before. My son came back with nothing but good things to say about Chisam. I can honestly say that in my 24 years as an educator, this young man is without a question one of the most impressive students that I have taught. And better yet, he's a better person than he is a student. And that is a tremendous compliment. Next fall, he will be attending the Honors Business School at the University of Texas in Austin. It is my pleasure to introduce the 2013 Lindsay High School Salutatorian, Chisam Reiter.
Good evening, friends, family, faculty, and even all of you who really don't want to be here right now. Thank you for coming and supporting us. It's an honor and a privilege to be speaking before you tonight. In a recent study, 41% of Americans listed their greatest fear as public speaking, while only 19% of people said death. Now, I originally considered myself part of that 41% until I realized how backwards these numbers are. I mean, this means to the average person, if you have to go to a funeral, you're better off in the casket than doing the eulogy. When I found out a couple weeks ago that I had to write a speech, I was pretty worried. But then I thought, hey, our class arrived at the end of the world. How bad could writing a graduation speech be? Turns out it was pretty bad. Not only was I burdened with another homework assignment, but worse yet, I had to recite it in public where it'll then be compared to the only person who ranks higher than me. Now, I would promise to keep my speech short and sweet, but then I realized that I had the opportunity to completely humiliate each of my classmates in front of hundreds of people, comprised mainly of their closest friends and family, a situation I planned on taking full advantage of. Unfortunately, I was told that was the valedictorian's job, so y'all are in luck. Besides, I know Tanner Kuhn and Jacob Kessler can barely sit still for more than 5 to 10 minutes at a time. In fact, I have a feeling they're already starting to get a bit antsy. I want to begin with a short allegory. There were once 2 young fish swimming along, and they happened to pass an older fish swimming in the opposite direction, who nods at them and says, "Good morning, boys. How's the water?" Now, the 2 young fish swim on for a while, before one of them eventually says, "What the heck is water?" Now, the point of this story is that the most obvious and important things in life, key to our existence, are often the most forgotten and least appreciated. In our lives, we often disregard the people and the things that are most responsible for our success, and even our very livelihood. I believe teens are sometimes the guiltiest of this, as I'm sure every parent here can think of a time that they felt their love and care went unnoticed. Every parent, every teacher, and every coach has played a significant role in molding the class of 2013 into the intelligent, hardworking, respectful young men and women that you all see before you tonight. I encourage every one of my fellow classmates to really think about where they would be without those who love and care for you, and to sincerely thank them for everything they have done for you in the past 18 years. And let us not forget about Smart Notes and Wikipedia. Where would we be without them? God bless those two websites. Although almost all high school students crave the day they graduate and famously count down the number of days until they can finally get the heck out of Dodge, as Miss Cohen might say, I feel like there are many aspects of Lindsay High School that will be missed. I don't know about any of my fellow classmates, but I've yet to find a career path in which half my day consists of sleeping, watching movies, working out, or playing Ninja. But if any of you do, please let me know. Honestly, these past couple of years have been the best years of my life. Regardless of what they may tell their parents, no senior can deny how unbelievably easy this class schedule was this year. I also know personally, after a year of ramen noodles, mac and cheese, and peanut butter and jelly, freshly made hot school lunches will be dearly missed. I know that Margie Hookton, or Mama Marge as she is commonly referred to, will be even more appreciated come this time next year. Everyone that has been involved in high school sports can vouch that there is simply nothing else like it. Our athletic success over the past 4 years goes to show the passion and love each and every one of us has had for our particular sports. Unfortunately, graduating high school also means giving up our 6-year-long free gym membership and losing our always sympathetic personal trainers. That being said, though, there are certainly things about high school that will not be missed, like an unlocked bathroom for one. I think it's safe to say that Mr. Westbrook's famous all-or-nothing test won't be the least bit missed either. For those of you who are unfamiliar, it's just as terrible as it sounds. It's a test in which you either get full credit, 100, or if you even miss a single question, you get no credit, a 0. Although you can take the test as many times as you'd like, it's still tough explaining to your parents why you're failing Mr. Westbrook's class every time a progress report comes out. However helpful they may have been, I also doubt any of the graduating seniors will miss track practice or getting up for cross-country workouts at 5 in the morning. Additionally, I think it's safe to say that no one will miss getting up at 7 a.m. every Monday and Wednesday to lift weights. Well, no one but Nick, that is. Nick will miss morning workouts. For those of us who will be attending college, I believe there's a shared excitement for not only having to go to class for 12 hours a week instead of over 3 times that long, but also having teachers that don't even care to go to class or not. Although it may have instilled much needed discipline, I sure do hope that none of our future jobs require us to do push-ups if we're even a couple seconds late. Except Trey and Jacob. I imagine you'll have to do a lot more than 20 push-ups for being late in the military. Now to the Lindsay class of 2013. Before we all go our separate ways, as salutatorian, I was told that in my speech, it's my job to give some words of inspiration and to give some pieces of advice for the future. Since I found I'm not too inspiring unless I raise my voice, I decided to settle with a short list of advice, which just so happens to be very inspiring. 1, relax. Nobody expects anything out of you for at least the next 80 to 90 days. So have fun this summer and spend as much time with your friends and family as you can before the real world really starts to set in. 2, good news. It doesn't matter that you probably didn't even get past the first chapter of To Kill a Mockingbird for Great Expectations, because it's never going to come up anymore. 3, men, spend your money now, because one of these days you might get married. We all know who's going to spend your money then. 4, good judgment may come from experience, but experience comes from bad judgment. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. 5, in theater, when someone says, break a leg, they don't actually mean to break a leg. That one's for you, Johnny. 6, one of the few things in life that money can't completely buy is health. Health is priceless. So frequently eat healthy and go to the gym and work out. Or at least Facebook maybe did. 7, your families are extremely proud of you. You can't imagine the sense of relief they're experiencing. That being said, this would be the most opportune time to ask for money. 8, life is too short to be a Houston Astros fan. politics, or you can waste your precious time and involve yourself in things such as politics. 10. And since every graduation speech has to have at least one Dr. Seuss quote, be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. So be yourself. Unless you can be Blake Walker. You can always be Blake Walker. There is no way you can please everybody, so do what you believe to be best and what makes you the happiest. That being said, you should definitely try to please your parents. They might be pretty helpful down the road. And lastly, on a real note, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right. As Steve Jobs once said, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. It's been a long, hard 13 years, but we finally made it. As cliche as it may be, again in the words of Dr. Seuss, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. So to the Lindsay High School class of 2013, congratulations, good luck, and God bless. Thank you.
At this time, we will recognize the students, their scholarships,